Hi guys, Matt Hancock's here, and I just want to welcome you back to this next instalment of our video series. Today we're going to talk about the fluids that our cells live in and how important that is for the health of our health and well-being. And we're also going to talk about the key drivers for metabolism, obviously both at a cellular level. So before we go on to that topic of discussion today, I'm going to just have a quick review of the last video, which was on digestive health and elimination. So what we've got to remember is the importance of fixing gut pathology really cannot be overemphasized or overstated. Okay, if the stomach is not breaking down the food, the small intestine is not absorbing the nutrients, and the large intestine is not eliminating the waste, then optimal health and weight loss results just simply cannot exist. Okay, so you need to make sure that you've gone through the PDF document on digestion, and in that you really want to be making sure that you are helping your systems if there are any issues. So go through the questionnaires. If there's a problem, obviously you want to start your digestion with the mouth, so the enzymes in your saliva. Make sure that you take your time over food and chew your food about 30 times before swallowing. So first and foremost, that's definitely that's where digestion starts. But if you answer the questions and the ones around the stomach acids are relating to you, then you do want to get some HCl supplement in. If the questions relating to the small intestine are more relevant to you, then obviously get the proactozyme enzymes in, just to help with the assimilation of the food. And finally, if the questionnaire surrounding the large intestine are more with what's going on with your digestive health, then obviously whack some fibre in the form of TNT. So go through that. Obviously, if digestive health and intestinal health didn't come up in your body analysis, in your lifestyle analysis, then it probably means that your key system product, you'll be working on a different system right now. But just as important, if you're not working on any key systems at the moment, the lifestyle analysis came up as okay, and you're just taking your daily essentials, then go through this program, this PDF document that hopefully you've downloaded. If you haven't downloaded it, then make sure you do now. It's just with the video for the digestion elimination on the website. Go through it, answer the questions, take it step by step, and then just take the appropriate supplement alongside your daily essentials if it's necessary for you. But as I said, I can't stress how important digestive health is. If you don't have a good digestive system, you're not going to lose the weight that you want to lose. You're not going to get your fitness to the level that you want it to be, and you're definitely going to find it difficult to put on any lean tissue. So if your gut is not working properly, your health and fitness goals will just be not attainable to you. So really make sure that you get that, you go through that in some detail, and make sure that everything's covered. Alright, smashing. So cellular fluid, then we're going to go into that today. Now, cellular fluid, basically the environment with which our cells growing, okay, is becoming more and more apparent in today's research. So I found I've read quite a lot around this topic now, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you today. So hopefully we've got an understanding of what genes are. Okay, and that's not genes that you wear. It's genes in your body. Yeah. So you've probably heard people say, "Oh, I'm fat because it's in my genes," or cancer. I've got cancer. It's in my genes, etc. Well, I just want to share with you that a gene is a blueprint. It doesn't actually do anything, and I want you to think of it kind of as architect plans. So you construct a building from those plans, the human genes. The proteins are the movement and the genes are the blueprint. Now, imagine two construction sites. So a couple of identical building sites. One building site, everything is clean and tidy. And in contrast with the second, the foreman and architects are quite lackadaisical. So, there's coffee stains over the plans, adjustments to the plans are just kind of scribbled out in pencil. Which one do you think is going to be more effective? Common sense tells you that the plans from the first will probably read more accurately, and the end result therefore should be of a higher standard. Yeah? So epigenetics then, that's what we class as above genetics, and it's not at all about the gene but actually the environment. So certain foods will switch on the genes that can help in the development of, say, cancer gene, and others will turn it off. Right? So let's look at this from kind of stem cells. Now, stem cells, if you don't know, they have the ability to turn into any other cells within the body. Yeah, so they can turn into bone, adipose tissue, which is fat, tendons and ligaments, cartilage, muscle, and what I want you to do is kind of consider 3 petri dishes. Alright, so in one we're going to put healthy bone, the other healthy muscle, and then in the third one healthy fat. If we put a stem cell into each of these petri dishes, right, that stem cell will turn into the muscle, fat or bone, but it only will do that if the environment with which it's in is a healthy one. Okay, is a healthy environment. So what's interesting is that when you change the environment of the petri dish, make it kind of dirty and acidic, bacteria will thrive in those conditions. It creates an unhealthy environment, and the stem cell begins to kind of mutate and get sick. Now, modern medicine will tell you will kind of create a drug to fix the stem cell, yeah, but it's not the stem cell. It's the environment that needed to change. And this always reminds me of when I was at university, okay, because we used to have a couple of goldfish, Bill and Ted, and the couple of goldfish we had soon became Bill and Ted 2, and then Bill and Ted 3, and it wasn't until we kind of asked each other, we thought we just weren't feeding the fish. But actually what we weren't doing enough of was cleaning the fish tank. So we weren't cleaning the fish tank, so therefore the environment that the fish were in was not, they couldn't survive, and so they kept dying. And it was only until we got to kind of Bill and Ted 4 that we really realised that we had to clean the tank every week, and then they survived the rest of our university days, and one of the guys actually took them home with him. So that was kind of a lesson learned, and it's exactly the same thing. The cells are only as healthy as the environment that they swim in. So, and the fish are only as healthy as the fish water, the tank water that they were swimming around in. It's exactly the same. If we look at our blood, we've got acidic fluid here and alkaline fluid. So the left, the cells are clogged together. You can see that they're kind of clogged together here, and it's what we call sticky blood. So this is where bacteria and viruses will manifest, and because the blood's kind of losing the ability to carry the oxygen. And this is really because of the acidity in people's blood. This is why a lot of people are really struggling with kind of weight gain and struggling with energy levels, is because of the environment that the cells are swimming in. So we need to get that pH balance more alkaline, and that will allow the blood to travel and carry oxygen around the body much more easily. Okay, so, and obviously we're kind of getting to grips with the fact that we are what we eat, and we need to eat foods that are going to alkaline our system. Yeah. So neutral food, 7.35. Our body will operate best at about 7.45 or above. Now, cancer cells will not multiply in an environment over 7.8, and they actually die in an alkaline environment of over 8.6. So let's kind of have a look at what that means. So here, this is the healthy body's pH range, okay, and this is where kind of cancer cells will die here, but it's quite hard to get this kind of alkaline level, and that has its problems as well. We want to keep it in a nice healthy body pH range here. Okay, so what you would have been noticing along the way with your diet is that we've been cutting out foods that have been what we would call acidic, and we've been adding foods in that are a little bit more alkaline. I think what we've got to understand is that when digested, all our food is going to be acidic or alkaline. It's going to have a pH balance. Now, most fruits and vegetables are alkaline, and then you've got your caffeine and your red meats and your sweets and your alcohol that will be acidic, and this is kind of what we've added, taken out and added into our diet. So to maintain a fairly neutral pH, we must try and consume about 80%, I would say, alkaline foods to counter the negative effects of the acidic foods. If you consume too much acidic food, it causes inflammation. We get bad digestion, weak bones, joints and muscles. Obviously, disease thrives in inflammation on acidic environments. So things like heart disease, diabetes, kidney disease, a host of other health problems, not just the low energy levels, but you also get kind of mucus and nasal congestion and chronic viral diseases and infections, and it's all because of the food that we're eating. It's all because our environment becomes too acidic. This causes more stress and anxiety and irritability, and obviously weight gain. So what we kind of need to do is make our bodies more alkaline, therefore have a healthier lifestyle, happier, and hopefully improve longevity. So many websites are kind of claiming that alkaline diet can cure cancer. Like I said before, cancer cells will not multiply in an environment over 7.8, and some people have stated that they will die, and they've actually proved that cancer cells will die in an alkaline environment over 8.6. There's not a great deal of scientific evidence to support it. It's kind of just the trend, but the closest scientific study was back in 1931 when Nobel Prize Dr. Otto Warburg. He's known for his work with sort of nature, mode of action of the respiratory enzyme. He formulated a hypothesis that cancer cannot live in an alkaline cell. Okay, so he started back in 1939, and yet we're still looking into alkaline diets now, and it's kind of taken this long for people to take it seriously as a form of preventing cancer from spreading. Okay, so I want you to kind of look. You can probably see that we've got lemons and limes as being alkaline. Lemon water is most alkaline. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, lemons and limes are citrus and they're therefore acidic, but actually as we digest the food, they become alkaline, so they're alkaline forming. And so if you have sort of lemon and ginger in the morning with water, it really can boost your health. Also, the liquid chlorophyll that you took with your cleanse, that's really alkalizing, and there's another thing you can add to your water to keep your system tickety-boo. Okay, so here's a great food chart here, which kind of simplifies what we're looking at, but obviously what you want to be getting is a lot of your foods from the green leafy vegetables, okay, green beans, green tea, lemongrass is also very, very good, and your almonds and your your Brussels sprouts, your olives, your lima beans and all that. And then you want to be taking out beer, coffee, cream cheeses. You want to be watching for peanuts and chocolate because they're quite acidic forming. So now remember, you want about 80% that are alkaline, because there are some foods that are acidic, like turkey for instance, that you do want to add into your diet because they have great protein content and they're not a nice lean meat, but they are it is acidic. So only get 20% from the acidic range. Everything else wants to be alkaline. Watch out for hidden acidity. So Lucozades and energy drinks are normally just full of chemicals and sugar, hidden sugars. Diet Coke, it may be sugar free, but it's full of sweetener, which is very, very acidic and is contributed to a lot of health problems. But also it has an ingredient in there that is close to the acidity of battery acid. So in actual fact, Diet Coke, although a lot of people drink this because they want to remain healthy, actually Diet Coke will make you fat because it will cause an acidic, inflamed environment. It'll make you ill and therefore you'll put weight on. So don't think that Diet Coke is a good choice. It's really a bad choice, okay? And if you are drinking it, stop it right now. The other thing you want to stop is tap water, okay? Now tap water unfortunately is full of things that we don't really want in our diet, okay? It's full of fluoride. Now fluoride, although it's put in our water to prevent tooth decay, it is actually a major air pollutant and is an industrial waste product. So the fact that it's put in to prevent tooth decay, there's no research that actually states that it does this. It's not clear research anyway. Also it is a fact that on small print, if you look at your toothpaste, there is small print that says do not swallow, which I find quite interesting because you're not allowed to swallow the very thing you put in your teeth to clean them. So I think when I found out about fluoride, and I've looked quite heavily into this. I won't bore you with it all now. We'll go through it. We'll sort of touch on it if you like, and I'll give you a suggestion if you want to go into further reading. But you want to take fluoride out. As I say, it's an industrial waste product. Anything that's a waste product, we don't really want to be putting into our system. So I would suggest getting a fluoride-free toothpaste. Now there's plenty on the market. You can get them in the supermarkets. You can get them online. And Nature's Sunshine do a phenomenal fluoride-free toothpaste. So it cleans the teeth really, really well, minty fresh. It just doesn't have the fluoride in. So elevatenutrition.co.uk and grab yourself some fluoride-free toothpaste. Yeah, it's true. You may have you may be dead, but you will at least have a great smile. So what you want to be also looking at is that fluoride can cause a crippling bone disease called skeletal fluorosis. Okay, in more mild forms, symptoms of this disease include chronic joint pain similar to symptoms of arthritis. All right. Now these are becoming kind of epidemic. There's epidemic levels of arthritis in the United States, and there is a connection obviously with the fluoride in waters. So it's important as well for you to understand that fluoride depresses the activity of the human thyroid gland. Now we're going to be talking quite in detail about the thyroid gland, but the thyroid gland is basically your master and controller of your metabolism. So if fluoride depresses the activity of this, then you're going to reduce the your metabolism, and therefore you're going to slow down your weight loss as well as all the health issues that are associated with depressing the thyroid function. Okay, so more than 20 million people in the United States have thyroid problems, and you know there's several things that they would be able to look at. It's kind of that give them a pill, or create a healthy environment. Yeah, we need to create a healthy environment, but obviously there's so much money in giving them pills, then that's unfortunately what they go, the route they go down. So there is a book called The Fluoride Deception if you want to read a little bit more about fluoride, if you're a little bit concerned about the fluoride that you're perhaps getting in. But basically, get a fluoride-free toothpaste, don't drink tap water, only drink filtered water, and try and alkalise your system by adding chlorophyll to that water, and you pretty much be fine, okay? But if you want to do some more reading, then definitely grab yourself this book and have a little look. I think you will find it quite interesting, for sure. So what we want to do then is go out, don't have the tap water, and maybe look at getting, there's a few options for you. There's a Brita filter, so you could just put the tap water into the Brita filter. You could go for bottled mineral water, but just make sure that the bottles are big, because estrogen can leach from plastic. Alright, so get a big bottle, and or you could go the whole hog and get a reversed osmosis system, which connects to your tap system in your house, and will set you back about £300-400, but it is the cleanest of options, the best option that you could possibly have. But it's just perhaps for some a stretch too far. I just have filtered water, so filtered water, and it's all good. I strongly suggest that you put chlorophyll in with all your water still. So when you finish the cleanse program, just carry on with liquid chlorophyll. It's only about £9, okay, so it's nothing really. It lasts quite a long time, and you can stick it in your water, which will obviously, if you remember, it has the same molecular structure as hemoglobin, so that's responsible for carrying oxygen around the body. So you're gonna boost the alkaline content of your blood, and the fluids that the cells are floating in, so therefore you're going to boost your health. There's a great weight loss strategy actually, where you could add bicarbonate of soda and lemon to water in the morning, just a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda and lemon. And what that does is alkalizes your body from the get-go. So as soon as you get up, you have this in the morning, and it just alkalizes your system. And obviously, if you've got a nice alkali system instead of acidic system, you're going to release fat. You could go a stretch further and go for alkalizing salts, which has more than just the sodium bicarbonate in. It has a few others in there. There's a nutritionist called Phil Richards, and he's got his own brand of supplementation, some of which are absolutely phenomenal. The greens drinks, the alkalizing salts are two that I take, and you know, if you want to get those in your system, then go along to philrichards.com. But baking soda, for the most, baking soda, bicarbonate of soda with a splash of lemon, and liquid chlorophyll through the day will be a great way of alkalizing your system with the filtered water that you're having. So in summary then, what you want to be doing is eliminating the tap water, because we've got over 350 chemicals in there, and we've got chloride and fluoride and chlorine and chemical pesticides that are going to just cause your body to be acidic. It's going to run your cells down. So instead, you want to be going more alkaline, so have clean water, filtered water. Grab some alkalizing salts or some sodium bicarbonate, and greens drinks are also very, very good for alkalizing the system. So get some liquid chlorophyll and just continue to create lovely blood that's carrying oxygen through your system rather than the sticky blood. Okay. So we're going to move on to metabolism now, and get into that. So as I said, the thyroid is the key gland for metabolism. Though this is responsible for telling the cells how hard to work. Now, as we've already identified, this gets interrupted by fluoride and chlorine. It also gets interrupted from mercury, which is interesting because our fillings are made from mercury. And if cells stop working as effectively as they should, then what happens is your resting metabolic rate, so the cost of living, will go down. So therefore you're going to burn less fat at rest, right? So the whole thing about weight loss is we need to improve your metabolic rate. We need to improve your lean tissue so we burn more fat. We need to get all our master glands functioning, all our hormones functioning properly to boost your metabolism and keep that fat shredding off and keep a nice healthy system. So I want you to kind of think of a factory, okay? So if we've got a factory here, and think of these guys as your cells, all right? So these guys are all the cells, and they're working on a production line, and the thyroid gland has two hormones, T4 and T3, and these are the master and controller of metabolism. So these guys are going to tell these two hormones are going to tell your millions of cells how hard to work. So it's kind of like a foreman and a production line. So T3 and T4 here are going to tell this production line how hard to work. Now, what would happen if those foremen took the day off? Would the production of the workforce go up or go down? Okay, of course there'd be less productivity. Okay, and it's the same with the human body. If the T3 and T4 aren't signaling to the cells to work fast, then they will just slow down. So this factory, what I want you to imagine then is that the tissues that make up the human body are continually being renewed. All right, every day approximately 200 grams of muscle and tissue cells are renewed. Every minute 200 million cells in our bodies are produced to replace dead cells, and it is the T4 hormone that determines the speed at which this renewal takes place. Okay, now obviously when it's renewed, it's in full health, and that's what we want. We want the body being in full health, so that we can run the system and have your metabolic rate working at its full potential. But as we've mentioned before, there are chemicals disrupting the thyroid. So chlorine and fluoride we already know, which is in the tap water, which will run down the thyroid gland. Also briefly mentioned is mercury, and mercury is in our fillings. Because the thyroid is like in our throat, what happens is that the mercury can kind of leach down to the thyroid, and it can disrupt the functioning of the gland. Okay, it kind of leaches through to the nerves, yeah, and gets into the thyroid gland. So we want to be adding in iodine. So we want to improve the function of the thyroid. So not only do we want to be careful of those things that are disrupting it, but we want to add some minerals in there that are going to boost the health of the thyroid gland. So we've got fish. So this is essential for thyroid functioning, and we can get it from fish and seaweed. Alright, our diet is severely lacking in iodine because the soils have been depleted, which we spoke about in the vitamins and minerals micronutrients video. Then we also want to add, just going back to this one actually, fish and seaweed. And it's interesting is that Japan has the lowest incidence of breast cancer and ovarian cancer in the world. Okay, and if you look at their diet, which has a lot of sushi in it, which is basically fresh fish, seaweed, and rice, so it just kind of makes us aware that perhaps they're onto something there. Okay, iodine is drops you can grab, or you can get kelp and hops. These will really boost the functioning of your thyroid. Selenium is another mineral that will boost the health of the thyroid. And selenium is a trace mineral. It's a powerful antioxidant. Okay, so it means it prevents hemoglobin in red blood cells from being damaged by oxidation. And selenium, there's a great formula which is selenium and vitamin E, which is designed it's a fantastic antioxidant, but also vitamin E is phenomenal for anti-aging. So that's a great product to have in your body, to not only boost the selenium but to prevent the aging process. So Brazil nuts have loads of selenium in them, and also fish. Okay, selenium also works sort of synergistically with that antioxidant from vitamin E, and zinc. If you add zinc to that combination, then you provide relief from enlarged prostate. So it's very, very powerful minerals that really boost the health of your cells. So what's interesting with selenium is that it will chelate the mercury. So, you know, obviously you want to try and avoid mercury fillings and go for the white fillings. But if you have got loads of mercury, then you want to add selenium into your body. So fish, Brazil nuts, and maybe think about having a selenium supplement. It binds, so you'll obviously remove it out the system, and what happens if you've got a lack of iodine and selenium is that it's going to disrupt that thyroid, as we've mentioned, which causes many problems. It can cause miscarriages, it can cause male infertility, mood problems, thyroid disorders, cardiovascular disease, arthritis, lack of energy, lack of any sort of get up and go, and I think that it's you know, a serious contender to really work on. If your digestive health, if that's all sorted from the last video, you want to have a look at the thyroid and boosting metabolism, if you're not already on a key system product. If you are on a key system product, then obviously I don't want you to be walking around rattling. You simply work on one of these at a later stage if necessary, but the information's there for you to take on board, and I hope you're finding it, you know, quite useful. The last supplement I'm going to talk about is magnesium. This mineral, then, basically 90% of the population in America are deficient in magnesium, and it's responsible for every single metabolic function in a cell. So it's responsible for over 300 biochemical reactions, and we know that if we can boost the biochemical reactions, then we're going to boost our health and boost our metabolic rate. Magnesium is also a great muscle relaxant, so it helps with sleep. It's also phenomenal if you have any aches and pains. So it's a great product. And if you take magnesium with calcium together, then the absorption of both minerals is much higher. So there's a great product which has magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D in, which is phenomenal. So again, you know, it's something to consider at a later stage, perhaps if you're already taking quite a few bits and pieces. But calcium and magnesium, generally as a day-to-day mineral, I think would be really useful. I take this. I also take the super supplemental. I take this as well, and it's absolutely fine to take both. Okay. It supports your immune system. It helps keep your heart rhythm steady. So it also supports, obviously, the strong bones because of the calcium. So it's a great product to have. If you're quite happy not taking it at this moment in time, then just make sure that you up your magnesium anyway, because it will boost weight loss just like alkalizing your system does. So, you know, you can throw some pumpkin seeds into your diet, and obviously magnesium there's high doses of magnesium in broccoli. So think about having quite a lot of green, nice fresh green broccoli in your diet as well. So the other things you want to be thinking about to boost your metabolism, okay? Green tea, obviously full of antioxidants, and if just 4 cups a day will boost your metabolism by about 4%. The white tea is also full of antioxidants as well, so it's not black tea with milk, alright? White tea is white tea. It's also very, very good for boosting metabolism. And oolong tea. Oolong tea is quite difficult to get hold of. You may have to get it online rather than having it. I don't think that they have it very much in supermarkets, but one close to you might have it. But this is great. This really boosts your metabolism. It's actually, you find it on a lot of slimming sites and things. But oolong tea is a phenomenal tea to get into your shopping basket, and it will boost weight loss by boosting your metabolism. So it's just some things to think about, add in as a replacement, so to everything else that you're doing. Alright, so in summary then, you want to be avoiding tap water, not just for the thyroid but also to alkalize your system. You want to avoid acidic foods as much as possible, so 80% of your food should be alkaline. You want to try and limit the amount of mercury fillings you have in your teeth. And then you want to be adding iodine and selenium into your system, so broccoli, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, and plenty of fish. Alright, on top of that, you may want to supplement with a magnesium, calcium, which will be great for your bones. It will really help you lose weight. It will improve your sleep. And the other one is vitamin E and selenium, which is something to consider as well. Great anti-aging, full of antioxidants, so it will really boost your health. So what next? The next video we're going to be talking about confusing our calories. So we're going to get into the next part of your nutrition, which is carbohydrate patterning. So far you've been doing just been doing what we call a moderate carb. So you've been doing 40% carbs, 30% fats, and 30% proteins. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be cycling your carbohydrate loading. So you're going to change your carbohydrates from being 40% to 50% on a high carb day, and then being as low as 30% on, well actually you're going to be removing carbohydrates pretty much altogether on your low carb day. You'll just be having vegetables. So as well as doing your carbohydrate patterning with your nutrition, you're going to do some exercise cycling. So we're going to be bringing in some different exercise techniques now to go along with your metabolic resistance training. So you're going to be doing some HIIT training and some strength work. They on particular days when you do your low, moderate or high carb days. So we're going to have a little tinker with your nutrition. This is forms the second stage of this 8-week program, but and we'll start to really start shifting some weight. If you have plateaued a little bit and you've been following everything we've done so far, this will really give it a boost and give it a bit of a kick up the backside. So this is going to be a really exciting time on this course. So I look forward to taking you through that. Read up. It's in your book anyway about carbohydrate cycling, so you can read up on it before the video, and then I'll be releasing that next week for you. So yeah, get stuck in, try and get your metabolism really kicking in, and make a conscious effort to boost your alkaline foods in your system. Okay guys, thanks for listening. Catch you next time. Bye bye.